Legislature, members present from the community college. I thank you for the opportunity to speak regarding the proposed Columbia Green Community College budget. I want to begin by making something clear. Columbia Green Community College is an important institution to Greene and Columbia counties. My comments tonight are not directed against the college, its students, faculty, or employees. My concern is financial transparency and the responsibility of this legislature as one of the college's local sponsors to fully understand the financial condition of the college before committing taxpayer dollars. After reviewing approximately 10 years of college budget information, Board of Trustees minutes, financial committee reports, and available audit information, I believe several questions deserve answers. The first question is the fund balance question. The college's own budget figures show substantial changes in the amount identified as fund balance as part of revenue. And if you looked at your copy of the college's budget, you'll see a slide. In 2023, that figure was approximately $2.2 million. In 2024, it was approximately $1.59 million. In 2025, it was approximately $557,000. For the 2025-2026 budget, it increased again to approximately $1.78 million. The proposed 2026-2027 budget now shows approximately a negative $23,000 in that category. That is a swing of approximately $1.1 million in a single year. Were they actually withdrawn from reserves? How much fund balance was available at the beginning of each year, and how much was actually used? And most importantly, what is the college's unrestricted fund balance today? The second issue involves the current 2025-2026 budget. That budget totals approximately $19.79 million, but approximately $1.078 million of its reported revenue is identified as fund balance. When that amount is removed, underlying revenue is approximately $18.72 million. Compare that with prior years' approximately $19.10 million of revenue, excluding fund balance. Underlying revenue, therefore, declined by approximately $381,000, while the fund balance component increased by $521,000. In other words, the overall budget increased slightly, even though underlying revenues declined. The increased use of the fund balance line more than compensated for that decline. That is something the legislature should understand before considering the next budget. The proposed 2026-2027 budget. The proposed budget is approximately $18.46 million, a reduction of $1.33 million from the current $19.79 million budget. But that number requires some explanation. Underlying revenue, excluding fund balance, decreased by only approximately $229,500. Most of the apparent 1.33 million budget reduction comes from the change in the treatment of fund balance. The fund balance component moves from approximately a positive of 1.078 million to a negative of $23,800. That represents an approximately $1.1 million swing. Therefore, approximately 83% of the apparent reduction in the total budget can be explained by the change in the fund balance component rather than by a comparable reduction in underlying revenue. That could result in an improvement in structural balance. But the legislature should require the college to demonstrate that fact. Budgeted fund balance is not actual fund balance. That is another important distinction. A budgeted use of fund balance does not necessarily mean that the money was actually spent. The college reported that fiscal year 2023-2024 ended with an operating deficit of approximately $934,000. Yet the budget information identifies approximately 1.59 million of fund balance as part of the revenue for that year. Those numbers are not the same. Similarly, approximately $557,000 of fund balance appears in the 2024-2025 figures, while college management subsequently projected that the year would finish with approximately a $420,000 surplus. That demonstrates why this legislature should not rely solely upon the budget presentation when evaluating the financial condition of the college. The audits. The legislature should also examine the audits. The college's fiscal year 2024 audit was performed. The auditors issued an unmodified opinion, which is important, and it should be acknowledged. However, the audit also contained 3 findings, and the college adopted a correction action plan. Those findings should be provided to the legislature. The legislature should know what were the 3 findings. Were they related to accounting procedures, internal controls, financial reporting, or other issues? And what corrective actions were required? And have these correction actions been completed? The legislature should also determine the status of the fiscal year 2025 audit, which I believe has not been completed, but it may have been, although it's hard to find online whether or not it's completed or not. As recently as January 2026, the college's interim financial leadership reported that completing the audit was a priority, while the college was reviewing its financial position and addressing county backlogs. Before approving another annual budget, I believe the legislature should know whether that audit has now been completed and what it says. Cash is not fund balance. The college has also reported significant cash balances. For example, March of 2025, college reported approximately $6.3 million in cash balance. College officials were considered placing $1 million in a certificate of deposit and approximately $2 million in a higher interest savings account. That indicates liquidity. But cash is not necessarily unrestricted fund balance. Some cash can be restricted, committed to outstanding obligations, associated with grants or financial aid, or otherwise unavailable for ordinary operating expenses. That is precisely why the legislature should receive a clear reconciliation showing cash, restricted funds, unrestricted reserves, and accounts receivable. Liabilities, beginning fund balance, actual additions or withdrawals, and ending fund balances. So what am I asking this legislature to do? I am not asking that the legislature tonight to assume that the college is financially unsound. The information presently available does not justify that conclusion. I am asking the legislature to exercise appropriate financial oversight. Before final action on the budget, I respectfully request that the legislature obtain from Columbia Green Community College their completed 2024 audited financial statements, which I believe you may already have, the completed 2025 audited financial statements, if it is finished, a 10-year schedule showing beginning and ending unrestricted fund balance for cash fiscal year, a reconciliation showing budgeted fund balance appropriations compared with the actual amount used. I can have fund balance on my budget sheet, but I may not use that amount. I may use more, I may use less. So you need to know what was actually used, because that affects your next year budget and also the financial liquidity of the college. An explanation of the approximately 1.1 million change in the fund balance component between 2025 and 2026 and proposed 2026-2027 budget. An explanation of 3 fiscal year 2024 audit findings and confirmation of whether each corrective action has been completed. Conclusion. The issue before the legislature is larger than a column of numbers added up. A balanced budget on paper does not, by itself, tell us whether recurring revenues are sufficient to support recurring expenditures. Fund balance can legitimately be used for certain purposes. But when reserves are incorporated into operating revenue, taxpayers and legislators should be able to determine how much was budgeted, how much was spent, and how much remains. The college's own records show substantial year-to-year changes in its treatment of fund balance. They also show an approximately $934,000 operating deficit in 2004, an anticipated $420,000 surplus in 25, 3 findings in the 24 audit, and continuing work in 2026 to strengthen the college financial operations. They have, according to the minutes I reviewed from the Board of Trustees, they are working very hard to upgrade their financial accounting software and their financial department. And I give them lots of credit for that. But they do need to demonstrate a need for transparency. Before this legislature commits taxpayer dollars to another annual college budget, it should have before it audited financial statements, the actual unrestricted fund balance, the status of audit findings, and a clear reconciliation between budget and actual use of reserves. That is not an unreasonable request. it is responsible financial oversight. And at the end, I would like to just mention to you on your audited financial statements, that's Greene County's audited financial statements, note 14, this is the 2024 audit. Columbia Greene Community College. The operation of Columbia Greene Community College is undertaken jointly with Columbia County under the provisions of Article 126 of the Education Law and is excluded from the county's financial statements. The college is administered by a board of trustees. The majority of the trustees are county board appointees, a portion between the two counties. And this is where the rubber meets the road. The counties are responsible for college costs not funded through state aid or tuition and have individually issued bonds for capital costs. The county also assumes liability of any college operating fund deficit should any operating fund deficit be incurred. And that is in a note to your financial statements. Again, I would ask that my comments be made a part of the records of this public hearing. And I have a copy for the clerk. And again, I thank you very much. I know it's hard for you to get just what I just said, but what I am saying is you can't just pass a budget. You just can't look at a budget. You just can't go to a committee meeting and say, great, it looks great. Let's pass it. That's not what you are here for. You are here for the taxpayers of Greene County and the viability of our community college, which in itself is one of the highest ranked community colleges in the state. And I thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Izzo. Is there anyone else here this evening who wishes to be heard with regard to the 2026-2027 operating budget of the Columbia Greene Community College? One last time, is there anyone else here this evening who wishes to be heard with regard to the 2026-2027 operating budget of the Columbia Greene Community College? All right, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for attending this public hearing. This hearing is now closed. And since it is past 6:25, we can move right into the second public hearing. Good. I'd like to open the public hearing with regard to local law introductory number 2 of 2026. A local law of the County of Greene providing that the primary residence of a seriously disabled veteran shall be fully exempt from taxation and special district charges, assessments, and special ad valorem levies pursuant to section 458-A, subsection 11 of the real property tax law. And at this time, I will ask Tanya to read the notice of public hearing.
Notice of public hearing. Notice is hereby given that there has been duly presented to the county legislature of the County of Greene on the 13th day of July, 2026, local law introductory number 2 of 2026, a local law of the County of Greene providing that the primary residence of a seriously disabled veteran shall be fully exempt from taxation and special district charges, assessments, and special ad valorem levies pursuant to section 458-11 of the real property tax law. Whereas section 458A of the real property tax law has been amended by adding a new subdivision 11, and whereas section 458A subdivision 11 of the real property tax law allows a county, town, village, or school district to adopt a local law or resolution providing that the primary residence of a seriously disabled veteran shall be fully exempt from taxation and special district charges, assessments, and special ad valorem levies, provided that such veteran meets all the other requirements of real property tax law section 458A, and such veteran meets at least one of the criteria set forth in paragraph A and the criterion set forth in paragraph B of this law. To be eligible for such exemption, a veteran A One, must have been discharged or released from active military, naval, space, or air service, including Army and Air National Guard service performed pursuant to federal orders under Title 10 of the United States Code under honorable conditions. Or two, must have a qualifying condition as defined in Section 1 of the Veteran Services Law and must have received a discharge other than bad conduct or dishonorable from such service. Or three, must be discharged LGBT veteran as defined in Section 1 of the Veteran Services Law and must have received a discharge other than bad conduct or dishonorable from such service. And B, must be considered by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs to be permanently and totally disabled as a result of military service as evidenced by a letter, official form, or other document sent to such veteran from such department that specifically states such veteran is considered to be permanently and totally disabled as a result of such service. In no case shall the taxable assessed value of the property of a qualifying veteran be reduced below zero. Nothing contained herein shall be construed to require or authorizing the discontinuance of any exemption granted pursuant to real property tax law, section 458(3). Be it enacted by the county legislature of the county of Greene as follows. Section 1, that the provisions provided in real property tax law, section 458A, subdivision 11 be adopted. Section 2, any such real property tax exemption shall apply to assessment rolls completed based upon taxable status date March 1st, 2027 and after. Section 3, within 30 days of adoption of this local law, notice shall be sent to the Department of Veteran Services for inclusion in the publicly available record of such county, city, town, village, or school district that has adopted such exemption. Section 4, this local law shall take effect immediately upon its filing with the Secretary of State. Notice is further given that the county legislature of the county of Greene will conduct a public hearing on the aforesaid local law on the 19th day of August, 2026 at 6:25 PM in the legislative meeting room, County Office Building, 411 Main Street, 4th floor, Catskill, New York, at which time all persons interested in the subject matter thereof will be heard concerning the same. Tanya L. Ernst, Clerk of the Greene County Legislature.
Okay, thank you, Tanya. The purpose of this public hearing is to hear comments from the public with regard to local law introductory number 2 of 2026, a local law of the County of Greene, providing that the primary residence of a seriously disabled veteran shall be fully exempt from taxation and special district charges, assessments, and special ad valorem levies pursuant to section 458-A subsection 11 of the real property tax law. I would just ask that if you wish to speak, that you state your name for the record. And with that, we'll begin the hearing. Is there anyone here this evening who wishes to be heard with regard to local law introductory number 2 of 2026, a local law of the County of Greene providing that the veteran primary residence of a seriously disabled veteran shall be fully exempt from taxation and special district charges, assessments, and special ad valorem levies pursuant to sections 458-A subsection 11 of the real property tax law? Again, is there anyone here this evening who wishes to be heard with regard to local law introductory number 2 of 2026, a local law of the County of Greene providing that the primary residence of a seriously disabled veteran shall be fully exempt from taxation and special district charges, assessments, and special ad valorem district charges, special ad valorem levies pursuant to section 458-A, subsection 11 of the real property tax law? Go ahead, Mr. Hobart.
I reviewed this prior and just in discussion with some of the others. What does the one question I have, if you're fully disabled, you're disabled. There's no don't ask, don't tell anymore. So why is there even a designation of LGBT in this resolution?
Ray, I don't know if you have a better answer. That's the way the law was, the state law was written. We're just applying a state law or not. Can't hear you. Thank you, Tyler.
So basically what that means is that any veteran that was discharged for LGBTQ status prior to the Don't Ask, or when there was the Don't Ask, Don't Tell, that veteran, if having an other than honorable discharge, would then be eligible for the benefit. So it's just including them if they did not receive an honorable discharge is all that's really means there.
Because that program has now changed.
Right.
And appeal it and have it changed, their DD 214.
They can apply. So veterans that have received an other than honorable discharge or anything other than honorable, they can apply for an upgrade, correct? However, for VA now this language is in a lot of different benefits for New York State for the VA. So they added this in here to make it basically a universal grant if you fell into that category without having to go through the process to get that discharge upgraded.
All right, anyone else who wishes to be heard with regard to local law introductory number 2 of 2026, a local law of the County of Greene, providing that primary residence of a seriously disabled veteran shall be fully exempt from taxation and special district charges, assessments, and special ad valorem levies pursuant to section 458-A subsection 11 of the real property tax law. Okay. Hearing no additional. And ladies and gentlemen, I'll thank you for attending this public hearing, and this hearing is now closed.
Good.
All right, I'd like to call regular meeting number 8. Year 2026. Turn everyone to please rise for a moment of silent prayer. One minute pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the States of America, to the republic which stands one nation and God, indivisible. Thank you. How do you do a roll call, please?
Mr. Chairman, all legislators are present.
All right, if there's no objections or corrections to the minutes of the previous meeting, I'll declare them approved. And can I get a motion and a second to dispense with committee reports? Ms. Hobart, thank you. With that, we can move right into the resolutions, please, Tanya.
Motion to adopt local law number 2 of 2026, a local law of the County of Greene providing that the primary residence of a seriously disabled veteran shall be fully exempt from taxation and special district charges, assessments, and special ad valorem levies pursuant to section 458, subsection 11 of the real property tax law. I need a motion.
Hobart.
Work handle. And can we get a roll call, please?
Legislator Davis.
Aye.
Legislator Handel. Aye. Legislator Hobart.
Aye.
Legislator Lunato. Legislator Lang.
Aye.
Legislator Lennon. Legislator Lucas. Legislator Rivera.
Yes.
Legislator Martinez.
Yes.
Legislator O'Connell.
Yes.
Legislator Thorrington.
Yes.
Legislator True.
Yes.
Legislator Buelich.
Aye.
Chairman Linger.
Aye,
Mr. Chairman, we have 10,000 ayes and 0 noes.
that's carried. Thank you.
Resolution 6, authorization to pay claims, moved by Legislator Martinez and seconded by Chairman Linger.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? It's carried.
Resolution 279-26, authorization to pay claims highway, moved by Legislator Buelich, seconded by Chairman Linger.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? That's carried.
Resolution 280-26, Resolution calling for a 2-year delay of the federal SNAP administrative and benefit cost shifts enacted under HR 1 and calling on New York State to hold counties harmless if the federal government fails to act. Move.
Okay. Who would have-
All right, moved by legislator Handel and seconded by Chairman Linger.
Motion second, and a request for a roll call, which we will do. Mr. Legg.
I wasn't here Monday night, but I was on Zoom and I listened to everybody speak and it was, it's very good. So I put that, the following day I called Kyra up and I assumed that most of the people that were opposed to this was, there was a concern over fraudulent payments, right? Is that, am I correct in assuming, Mike?
Sure.
So I called her and I answered because I remembered 2 or 3 months prior, she came and gave her work and she said how she addressed all this, she and her staff. And she replied to me today with that I had attached a recent program integrity performance measures district summary for your review. And she says some more thing. In short, she says in 2025, we saved $1,918,836 by going over these programs and not giving out awards to people that do not deserve it. So I said, is that pretty close to 0%? She says, probably about, yeah. So if that's the problem, why you would vote for that, I think that our Green County employees do an excellent job as far as vetting who gets what, making sure that they are given out deservedly, so. I just hope that helps you in your vote.
I don't think that was the question of us as a county. It was through NISAC as a state as a whole on this thing coming through. I don't believe anybody in this room questioned anything about the integrity or somebody fraudulently receiving benefits once they've applied.
I just asked a question, Tommy, because that's how I took it. I just asked,
No, and I'm
I'm just trying to get a little, say what. At this level, we're voting for this tonight to protect our taxpayers. So I think it's in our best interest to support something like this, because as we move forward, we're showing the taxpayers that we do as a whole, everything we can to make sure that we're protecting.
and I don't disagree with you, Daryl. The only thing I was questioning is it's more of a political pep rally through the federal coming to the counties. Basically, the boondoggle is, hey, Albany, get with the program instead of passing it down to the counties. So whether, nothing against Congressman Riley or Senator Schumer, they're going to vote however they want on Capitol Hill. So if the money still doesn't come because of whatever happens in DC federally, that the state should take it upon themselves not to push it down to the counties. That's the contention or the concern that some of us, if I'm reading the room right, when we sat in here and discussed it the other night.
What is the resolution is for?
Well, I got to tell you, I believe this resolution that I had proposed, whether to vote on it as itself or to vote it as an amendment to this current one that passed in committee, is it does exactly that. It takes our county, allows our county to give all the information and detail to the federal government so they can audit us, look at everything, give us the A+ and put in any corrective actions, and therefore we wouldn't be subject to the whole of New York State being penalized, because this current resolution is just the whole of New York State. And you can bet your bottom dollar that there's other counties that aren't doing the job that Greene County's doing in regards to checking up on people and making sure they're legitimately getting services. So that's really the simple answer, is the amended resolution. And it goes directly to the federal government, not through the state or NISAC. It goes right to the people who are enforcing the law. So
I understand what you're getting at, and very well, we may be okay here in Greene County, but we should be allowed to prove that.
Been amended, but we don't have an amended resolution in front of us yet.
Okay, but I'm not offering, I can offer this both ways. If people want to vote for this amendment, this resolution as it stands currently, and be lumped in with the whole of New York State, rather than us be independent and go directly to the federal government with a request. That's really what it's about.
This is a resolution that came from committee, came out of committee. If
So at
it's a-
the end, I will introduce this new resolution to be voted on, and if people want to vote on for that one, which is basically you know, confidence in our county DSS doing their jobs properly and get a thumbs up from the federal government, we can then at least be reimbursed for our administrative costs as a reward for doing the job right. This would be. It could be a new resolution too. And people can vote or not vote for this one that went through committee, or they can vote for this one. Or both, or neither. But at least it states where we should go, and this is where I believe we should go instead of voting on second resolution.
Agreed.
Anyone else? Okay, we called for a roll call vote from your vote.
Did you vote yes? Did you call Leg's name?
No, not yet. We haven't called any name yet.
I thought he called Leg's name.
No. Yes.
Okay. Legislator Handle,
Aye.
Legislator Hobart,
No.
Legislator Lunudo,
No.
Legislator Lay,
Aye.
Legislator Lennon,
Yes.
Legislator Lucas, Legislator Rivera,
No.
Legislator Martinez,
Yes.
Legislator O'Connell,
Yes.
Legislator Thornton,
Yes.
Legislator True,
Yes.
Legislator Buelich,
Nay.
Legislator Davis,
Aye.
Chairman Linger.
Aye.
Mr. Chairman, we have 6,848 ayes and 3,152 noes.
Okay, that's carried.
Resolution 281-26, as amended, accepting the proposed 2026-2027 operating budget, Columbia Green Community College. Moved by Legislator Thornton, seconded by Legislator Lennon.
We'll need a roll call here as well, please.
Legislator Hobart,
Yes.
Legislator Lunudo, Legislator Lay,
Aye.
Legislator Lennon,
Yes.
Legislator Lucas,
Except at the end.
Legislator Rivera,
Yes.
Legislator Martinez.
Yes.
Legislator O'Connell,
Yes.
Legislator Thornton,
Yes.
Legislator True,
Yes.
Legislator Buelich,
Aye.
Legislator Davis, Legislator Handle,
Aye.
Chairman Linger.
I will say that a lot of the questions that were brought up tonight in the public hearing were answered and in fact by the college when they put out their presentation here. So I concur.
Mr. Chairman, we have 10,000 ayes and 0 noes.
And that's carried.
Resolution 282-26, authorizing agreement, Greene County Sheriff's Office with Carroll Durham Central School District. Moved by Legislator Handle, seconded by Legislator Lennon.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
Thank you.
Resolution 283-26, authorizing agreement, Greene County Sheriff's Office with Catskill Central School District. Moved by Legislator Lunudo, seconded by Legislators Hobart and Rivera.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Carried.
Resolution 284-26, authorizing agreement, Greene County Sheriff's Office with the Coxsackie Athens Central School District. Moved by Legislator Martinez, seconded by Legislator Hobart.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? That's carried.
Resolution 285-26, authorizing agreement, Greene County Sheriff's Office with Greenville Central School District. Moved by legislator Handle, seconded by Chairman Linger.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? That's carried.
Resolution 286-26, authorizing agreement, Greene County Sheriff's Office with 100 Tannersville Central School District. Moved by legislator Lennon, seconded by legislator Handle.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? That's carried.
Resolution 287-26, authorizing agreement, Greene County Sheriff's Office with Wyndham Ashland Jewett Central School District. Moved by legislator Thornton, seconded by legislator Hobart.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? That's carried.
Resolution 288-26, authorizing out-of-state travel, Daniel King, Deputy Director of Emergency Services. Moved by legislator Martinez, seconded by legislators Handle and Lennon.
All in favor? That's carried.
Resolution 289-26, awarding general contractor for Wyndham Transfer Station Reconstruction Project. Moved by legislator Legg, seconded by legislator Handle.
Favor? Anyone opposed? Carried.
Resolution 290-26, awarding electrical contractor for Wyndham Transfer Station Reconstruction Project. Moved by legislator Buelich, seconded by legislators Legg and Lennon.
Aye. Opposed? Carried.
Resolution 291-26, authorizing agreement, Greene County Department of Human Services, Aging, and Columbia County Community Healthcare Consortium, Inc. Moved by legislator Handle, seconded by legislator Legg.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? It's carried.
Resolution 292-26, approving center-based provider contract preschool special education program. Moved by legislator Lanuta, seconded by legislators Handle, Hobart, Lennon, Lavera, True, and Chairman Linger.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Opposed. Which opposed? Carried.
Resolution 293-26, authorizing agreement, Greene County Mental Health and Coordinated Care Services, Inc. Moved by legislator True, seconded by legislator Handle.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Opposed. Which opposed? And that's carried.
Resolution 294-26, Haynes Falls Pedestrian Improvement Project, Secra intent to declare lead agency. Moved by legislator Thornton, seconded by legislator True.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? It's carried.
Resolution 295-26, awarding bids and authorizing contracts, Caro Senior Center Project Number 161. Moved by legislator True, seconded by legislator Lennon.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Opposed. Have Hobart and Buelich opposed? Is that all? Okay, that's carried.
Resolution 296-26, authorizing the county of Greene to declare a portion of county-owned real property no longer needed for public use and offering approximately 0.275 acre plus or minus of real property to the highest bidder. Moved by Chairman Linger, seconded by legislator Davis.
All in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? Carried.
Resolution 297-26, budget amendment, Greene County Highway Consolidated Local Street and Highway Improvement Program. Moved by legislator Martinez, seconded by legislator Handle.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? That's carried.
Resolution 298-26, budget amendment, capital project number 174, Wyndham Transfer Station reconstruction. Moved by legislator Legg, seconded by legislator Handle.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Carried.
Resolution 299-26, budget amendment, insurance recovery, Greene County Sheriff. Moved by Chairman Linger, seconded by legislator Davis.
All in favor? Anyone opposed? Carried.
Resolution 326, budget amendment, insurance recovery, Greene County Sheriff. Moved by legislator True, seconded by legislator Martinez.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? That's carried.
Resolution 301-26, establishing capital project number 181, 2025 State Homeland Security Grant Program. Moved by legislator Martinez, seconded by legislator Handle.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? That's carried.
Resolution 30226, establishing capital project number 182, Public Safety Anchoring Point Grant 2025 and 2026, moved by legislator Handle, seconded by Chairman Linger.
Favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? That's carried. Have. The Chairman's appointment, appointing a member of the Agricultural and Farmland Protection Board. Council Linger, Chairman of the Green County Legislature, by authority vested in me by Resolution 236-93, do hereby appoint the following member of the Agricultural Board for the remaining four-year term, which shall expire on August 18th, 2027. I'm Schmidt, an active farmer. Term of appointment, appointing member. And the last one is appointing members to the Green County Youth Advisory Board for 2026. Hereby appoint upon recommendation of Amanda Lyons, Deputy Director of the Green County Department of Human Services Youth Bureau, following as a member of the Green County Youth Advisory Board. Sean Duarte as a youth member.
He did not respond.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Yes, I would like to bring to the floor another resolution. This resolution here that I have. I did give copies out to all parties here. Would anyone like me to read that, or would we have our board clerk read this resolution?
I would think if you're offering it, you're more than welcome to read it,
Okay.
with the title, please.
All right, you bet. This resolution calling for administrative and benefit cost shifts enacted under HR 1 to be paid by the federal government. Whereas when the County of Greene complies with requirements of the federal government and allows an open and transparent audit of our records in regards to SNAP benefits and all other benefits paid for by federal taxpayers. And whereas once this occurs and an audit is completed, that controls are put in place that use AI to track all transactions of federal dollars without added bureaucratic administrative expenses. And whereas once waste, fraud, and abuse are eliminated, that this county receives administrative funds to keep track of these controls and transactions and to further improve all tracking of federal dollars. Now therefore be it resolved that the clerk of the Greene County Legislature is hereby directed to transmit certified copies of this resolution to the Secretary of Agriculture and other cabinet members that are the enforcement arm of federal law HR 1 and to the New York State Association of Counties. I would like to bring that to the floor.
A motion. Second, they have a second from Will and Moore.
And if anyone would like to open that up to discussion, that'd be fine.
I would like to. I know New York State has refused to know the documents to the federal government, which I disagree with. But on the other hand, if we are doing this, we would be turning over documents to the federal government. Will there be ramifications from New York State if we do this? That is the concern I have.
The authority really lies with the state by federal statute.
That's what I'm worried about.
So you're telling me that the state, which doesn't want to comply with the regulations imposed under HR 1, prohibits counties who are charged with the documentation and the administration of those funds are not allowed to cooperate with federal authorities to make sure there is no fraud, waste, or abuse. I don't know that that's true or false. Then what harm would there be with something like this?
Well, there's harm in it.
We are looking at threat and ramifications for counties working with ICE with New York State at this time, so.
Well, listen,
know.
everyone is free to choose and vote the way they want to vote, but if
Yeah.
you want to jump off the cliff with New York State, you go right ahead. I'm not
That's
doing it.
not what I want to do, but
Well, you are subjecting yourself to that. They're gonna pull you right over the cliff. And at some point, people in this room, or people in this county are gonna have to stand up and say enough. You're their representatives, and I hear from plenty of people they've had it. I'm sure you have too.
oh yeah.
So that's why I offered this.
Well, eliminate all fraud and abuse when you're talking millions and millions of dollars.
I think it is only because it's already happened when they used AI. AI learns so fast and compute so fast. It can investigate millions and millions of pages of documents in a matter of minutes, as opposed to the human cost, which is the administrative cost incurred here. And an additional cost because if we use bodies, employees to track all of this, there will be an additional administrative cost because of it. But if we go to AI, and I'm not an investor in AI or anything, but it makes sense to look at that. All right, I'd like a roll call.
Legislator Lanuda. Aye. Legislator Lake. That's a no. No or aye? Aye. Oh, okay. Legislator Lennon.
Yes.
Legislator Lucas. Legislator Rivera.
Yes.
Legislator Martinez.
Yes.
Legislator O'Connell.
Yes.
Legislator Thornton.
Yes.
Legislator True. Yes. Legislator Bewley.
Aye.
Legislator Davis.
Aye.
Legislator Handle. Aye. Legislator Hobart.
Aye.
Chairman Linger.
Yep.
Mr. Chairman, we have 8,678 ayes and 1,322 noes.
Carrie.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. You're welcome. Anything else we have to come before the board for business? Do we have any memorial adjournments that I wasn't aware of? All right, if not, we have Speenberg grant checks will be available as usual Friday after 2.